another live, and I'm on a afternoon stroll, afternoon walk, just around my neighborhood. Snow melted. It's been a beautiful day, sun out. If you're catching this on playback, as always, my gratitude, my appreciation for those who take the time out to catch these lives on playback, see what we're talking about on here, see the interactions, and all that good stuff. There's no set topic on this one. Just taking it easy on a Sunday evening, 6 o'clock my time in my area. And I wanted to take y'all on this little excursion, if you will. OG Kicks, man, peace. How's everything with you, brother? OG Kick says everything is good. Getting ready to take the queen out tomorrow for her birthday. That's what's up, man. Happy birthday to your queen, man. Peace and love to your family, man. It's awesome to hear. And as I walk these streets, I gotta take it a little bit careful with being on the phone, cars rolling around. My area is not that it's not too much traffic, but you still gotta keep your head on the swivel, you dig? Being aware of your surroundings. And this has been one of the better days in a couple months in my area, dealing with snow, cold weather. Yesterday it was foggy and raining. And it was actually pretty decent during the day. I was going to do the same thing yesterday because I took a walk yesterday as well. But it was kind of misty and it was kind of foggy out. And I wasn't really in the mood to take a long walk as I am today. But I've always been a person of getting outside, being in nature, birds chirping, sun out. But with the climate and how things have been, when you don't know it's gonna snow or rain, or the weather just changes so drastically in a moment's notice, it's a rarity to get out. For the most part, yeah, brother. I'm back to feeling about I'll say like 90%. Still got a little bit of phlegm going on in the chest, congestion in the chest a little bit. But it was a must to get out here and get this fresh air for real. I appreciate you, OG Kicks, for asking for real. That's why I still got my jacket on. I still got my hat on out here. It's nice as hell out here for real, but I'm layered up. Again, this fresh air was something that was much needed. As everybody rolls into this live stream, do me a favor, like this live. As y'all take y'all on this walking journey. Once again, sun out beating. I don't know, I might take a walk to this park and then double back. It's a nice, decent walk. I might not walk that far, I don't know. OG Hobbs, man, peace to you, brother. Good afternoon. How's everything with you, brother? OG Kick says, everybody lurking in the back, hit the likes. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Cost you guys nothing but to double tap screen on your device or the upper right, 3 buttons on the right hand of your device. Just drop down and you get the likes. One of the things I like to encourage my people, but my brothers that are on semen retention in general, is that you're feeling any type of way, especially experiencing any type of boredom, not being motivated on a journey, excessive energy you don't know what to do with yourself. You thought of all the ways to keep yourself occupied. Can't find any hobbies to get into. Get outside. Get outside in nature. Get some fresh air. Change your scenery. A nice clean walk not only shifts your energy, does it shift the atmosphere, it also gets you thinking. It also gets your mind thinking. And whether you're thinking or your thoughts or the change of your thought patterns, change of your thought patterns, if you're dealing with undesirable thoughts, once again, the urges, or you just got that idle time, because idle time is the devil's playground. But once you put yourself in motion and get yourself outside, man, it changes everything. It changes, once again, your atmosphere. With the change of your atmosphere, the change of your mindset, the change of your energy, being able to breathe some fresh air. It's one of the biggest helps when you're on this journey. And once again, if you live in an area where it's cold, not able to get out, or the weather is if it's inclement weather, where you're not able to get out at that time, sometimes the urges or what you're feeling is so daunting at times, right? That I even encourage you, bro, invest into an umbrella. If it's rain that stop you, have an umbrella on deck so you can still get out there. If you once again are in a cold climate, invest into some thermal gear or layer up and get outside. Whether it even be for 5 or 10 minutes, you got to get up out that house. You got to get up out that room. Just get outside. Austin Tucker says your advice you gave me, bro, about my ex wanting me to drop everything and come see her really worked, bro. I told her to go kick rocks. And Austin Tucker, I appreciate you for being in here, brother. For real, for real. I'm glad that information. Well, I appreciate you for at that time coming to the live stream and asking me on my opinion and asking for the advice. And I'm glad that it worked. I'm glad that it helped you and it actually saved you time and energy, brother. When people use you in a way to manipulate you and your energy, this is abuse. These are forms of abuse that we don't speak about as men. We just say, oh, this girl, she playing me. She trying to use me. Or we call, certain females gold diggers or whatever the case may be. Energy vampires. Guys, you got to understand that this is a form of abuse. Someone abusing not just their power over you, but abusing you emotionally. This is emotional abuse. And that's something that is not spoken on when it comes down to dealing with relationships and these women out here. Women being Kim, peace to you. Being that women are the emotional beings, they're more in tune with their emotions. They can also pick up and know how to play on emotions. They know what can make a man tick. They're very observant. Once again, they're more in tune with their emotions and emotions, period, picking up on that energy. So it's something that they use. It's like a playing card that they can use at any time. They know that a lot of men out here are hypnotized by beauty, and an attractive woman can basically get whatever she wants at any time. That's what a lot of attractive women. And listen, I love all my ladies out there. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But women know that they don't even have to be on their best day and they'll still get talked to by men. Women off the rip garner a lot of attention. And the more attractive that female may be, the more prettier in the face she may be, the more revealing she may dress, the attention and the attraction will be enhanced with that. So women don't really have to do too much to gain the attention. But if it's a guy that they may be interested in or that they are willing to use, they are willing to use the tactics that they have and that they have learned or whatever the case may be to get that. When women play on your emotions and then discard you, it is a way to show you that they don't need you for real. And it's disrespectful because it also shows that they can do better than you. And when they get used on their end, or when another party comes across them and is done with them, or they thought the grass was greener on the other side, whatever the case may be, they tend to come back to the one who was more invested into them emotionally, physically, mentally, because you was the best source. A lot of women come back because you was the best source of energy and they cannot find it anywhere else. They thought they could, but some of us guys were so unique in our ways and what we have given into a person that they tend to miss that energy and what we had to offer. So what ultimately ends up happening is they come back thinking they can run stuff. And like Austin said, he had a female say, you know, drop everything, come see her, manipulate and say if you don't, then you know it's if you don't come see me now, basically, then you know it's a done deal. It's a manipulation tactic, and it's to use you, brothers. I just touched down at the park. Some guys shooting around the ball. Like I said, it's a great day. Bro's got some short sleeves on. Not me, man. Little skate park over here on this side. Some ramps. I bring my son over here every now and then. Chilling, man. Taking your power back, taking your energy back, and conserving your energy, protecting your energy is how you combat that type of behavior of someone trying to manipulate and use you. This term narcissist has been used more commonly now. It's almost like a commercial thing where people are labeling people as narcissists, narcissistic behavior, narcissistic personality disorders and stuff like that. Once again, we deal with a lot of people who use people for their energy. Def T, man, peace to you. Yeah, it's a nice day, bro. It's a beautiful day. But a lot of these behaviors, you know, I don't got no PhD or learning people's personalities and stuff like that. But I tend to notice the patterns. And once you make yourself aware and have gone through your own experiences dealing with people with certain personalities, you start to understand the same traits. And when you start to understand the traits more and understand now your energy and what you need to do to protect yourself and protect your energy and protect yourself from people like this, because they can lead you down a path that can be very harmful, sometimes physically. There's a lot of, I always hear the saying that there's a lot of guys in jail due to or because of women, but also a lot of guys struggle mentally and spiritually dealing with a certain type of woman. I had someone I had someone recently come on one of my audios on my content, and they mentioned something about wet dreams. And they was like, I don't believe in that wet dream shit. And blah blah blah. They gave the reason why they don't believe. And I simply said, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? If you, my whatever it is that you disagree with whatever I say or my content, um, it is what it is. I don't get all butthurt if someone disagrees with me, and especially when it comes down to semen retention and content, because everyone's journey is different. But when certain people bring up when you say you don't believe in something, then I'm not here to convince you otherwise or to convince you to believe in what I'm talking about. The information is out there. Enough guys have gone through the process where they have experienced wet dreams. They ask me, where does it come, what can it possibly be coming from or what's happening? Guys have to understand that, one, that it is a natural thing, depending on your sexual past, your trauma, what your subconscious mind has picked up on. I always like to explain this to guys that your subconscious mind is like a computer with a hard drive where it's going to download it, and it's recording at all times. It's recording everything, your past experiences, your traumas, what you just seen today on your YouTube feed, or if you watch TV, what you just seen today on TV. It might have been a glimpse, but your subconscious mind picked up on it, recorded it, and whether you registered it or actually thought that you paid attention to it, your mind still picked up on it. So later on, for you to have any type of dream, and in this case, when I'm talking about a sexual dream, it is your energy, it is your mind. Now, with all I said, when you have dealt with people, the experiences that you have had, circumstances that you have went through with that person, whether it be good or bad, a good time or a bad time, those things will still carry along with you, and that energy still lingers. When you go more in depth with relationships and soul ties, and this is what I was talking about before with dealing with certain people and being affected spiritually, when you have spent enough time and energy with a person, and especially if you have exchanged energy with a person through sexual intercourse, your bodies and your energies are intertwined, is going to be more of a whole on that relationship on a more spiritual level because of the intimacy that you guys have shared. So it's hard to break away from an ex, those thoughts, those encounters that you may have had, and trying to, or if you are on a celibacy path or practicing semen retention, having those wet dreams, having sexual dreams correlates with those experiences. So whether you believe it or not, that's on that person. That's why I just agreed with them and said, okay, you got it. Because How I'm talking about it right now, I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody in the comments, leaving long paragraphs of where the wet dreams come from and trying to convince someone who already said that they don't believe in it. And then thinking that they're going to get validation or some type of conversation out of me. Because once when you say you don't believe something, then you don't believe it. And I'm just here, man, watching these guys shoot some hoops. It looks like they wrapped up. They about wrapped up. I don't know. They ain't really. They might have played earlier. They just sitting there talking. They looked over. They looked over at me a couple times because I just decided to sit on the rock and just watch. I don't know if they thought I was gonna come over and hoop with them. It's not happening. But I'm gonna get ready to take my walk back. Yeah, you know that look that they, guys give you when you come to the park as a random, with no ball in your hand or nothing. You just show up and you just start looking. I mean, I get it because I would look too to just see what it is. But like it looked like they was about to one of the dudes was about to walk over to me, but he stopped at like half court and then turned around. I guess he wanted to get a better look at who I was. People always say I look like somebody or a celebrity. So I know from afar, I know they probably thinking like, yo, this dude look like somebody he might be the way he just show up by himself. Def T, man, peace to you again, says question. May sound stupid. It is what it is. Um, but is it considered a wet dream if a person is sleep dreaming and start to wake up out of a sexual dream, but they're touching themselves? Um, Let me read that again, just so that way I can get a better context. Not a stupid question though. I kind of get what you're saying, but I just want to make sure. Um, is it still considered a wet dream if a person is sleep dreaming? All right, so you're under. All right, so you're in your sleep, right? And then you start to wake up out the sexual dream, but then when you wake up, you're touching yourself, basically. Um, I always tell guys when they're experiencing sexual dreams or if they have experienced a wet dream, right? Um, from my experience, this is something involuntarily. So this when you're sleeping, and once again, this all has to do with your unconscious, your I'm sorry, your subconscious mind, meaning that you're not conscious of your actions, what you're doing. Oh, they started to play 2-on-2. Nice. um, Under your subconscious mind, your mind is your conscious mind is turned off. So you're not conscious, you're not aware of actually what's going on of your bodily functions while you are sleeping. So that's why I tell guys if you're having wet dreams or sexual dreams, don't have too much of an alarm because this is something that's going on a higher realm. You're in a different realm when you're sleeping. You're in a dream state. So these are things that you aren't necessarily in control of. Now, if you wake up and you're touching yourself in that manner, this is something that you're doing involuntarily. You don't really, once again, have too much control over what you are doing. It's like tossing and turning in bed, right? You can go to sleep one way, but then wake up. Like, let's say you sleep on your back, right? You fall asleep on your back, and then all of a sudden, hours later, you wake up and you're sleeping on your side or you're sleeping on your stomach. So at some point you turn, but you weren't in control of that turn. Your body just adjusted. So it's kind of like the same thing. If you're having sexual dreams and you wake up to touching yourself, this is something that you were doing subconsciously. Now, once again, it's your mind. Is people could say it's your fault, but once when you're doing something that's involuntarily, you can't put too much stock into what it is that is actually going on. It's just your body's response to something that's going on involuntarily. Um, a wet dream to me, right, is when, and this is where the term actually originates from, is when you have a sexual dream and you actually have discharge when you wake up, right? A sexual dream is a sexual dream. It doesn't necessarily have to be something where you have a sexual dream and you release or whatever the case may be, but it's actually a wet dream. It's like something like you went through when you were like 15, 16 years old in puberty, right? Woke up with discharge in your underwear or whatever the case may be. That's an actual wet dream. But a sexual dream is a sexual dream. And if you're having a sexual dream and you wake up and you got your hands on your privates or whatever the case may be, once again, that could be something that's involuntarily because you were asleep and just adjusting. All right. So it happens. And especially if you have taken a celibacy path, every now and then you'll have some thoughts that'll arise and it comes up in your dream state. That's something that you can control your dreams. Um, but sometimes it is uncontrollable and it's just part of natural order. Yeah, I was gonna say the last time I had one middle school going to high school. Yeah, yeah, that's like going through yeah, that's going through puberty, the body, and that's why I like to tell guys it's like the same thing. You got to think, um at that time you're going through puberty, right? And that is your body naturally doing what it's supposed to do. With semen retention, the more you retain, the more time that you take to really regenerate your body's functions, your cells, recover from all the years of releasing. There comes a time in a cycle where your body will pick up on it. And a lot of wet dreams come from when guys are older and they catch wet dreams, is because their body is regenerating itself. This is what semen retention does. And I'm leaving the park right now, guys. I'm about to be on my journeys back to the crib. But your body is regenerating itself, regenerating the cells, reconnecting itself, and stuff like that. And with that, what comes along with that is old semen, unwanted semen, especially guys, if you haven't been up on your diet over the years. Once again, your body releasing all the time. It's just readjusting. It's almost like getting back to that pre-puberty state of the buildup. So when guys have a wet dream on semen retention, and I explained this to another guy too recently, that I did a consultation with. When your body reaches a certain level of at least 72 to 75 days on semen retention, the sperm that's within your body that's being held is uh, more mature. You have pure, mature semen, meaning you have semen that is like at its prime levels of having full nutrients You have semen within your body between 72 to 75 days of having pure nutrients, pure optimal levels of how the flow is going within your body, how the body is conserving the semen. This is fuel. This is pure, mature semen. And what can happen between those 72 and 75 days up to 90 is a wet dream, because what will happen is that mature semen will start to push out old semen, unhealthy semen, unwanted semen, semen that doesn't have any use. So once again, it is not an uncommon thing to have a wet dream if you're on semen retention. If it happens, I always ask guys, well, what day are you on? If they're tracking the days, and usually they're at that mark, like going into 3 months, 90 days. So that correlates with the information that I came across of when healthy, mature semen will basically combat and fight out unwanted semen or unhealthy semen. So it's basically like your bodily function going back into that pre-puberty state of regenerating and regenerating healthy semen, and it'll start to push out old semen. It's just your body's natural order. It's supposed to happen. J Mastermind, peace, brother. He says, day 120, and I hate everything that's fake about this world. Yeah, me too, brother. I'm here with you on that. I hear you. It opened my eyes, and I'm very angry. I feel like Super Saiyan G. Raise that society. Yeah, man, I hear you. J Mastermind says, during the whole 120 days, I only had about 5 dreams or less, and for some reason, I can't sleep more than 4 hours. Yeah, J Mastermind, man. Congrats to you, man, to that feat, reaching those days, and yeah, the sleep, not being able to sleep, or only able to get the 4 hours. Your energy as is at a prime level. That's one of the trickier parts of semen retention of this journey is the spike in energy. It can be up and down at times. The highs are highs, and then sometimes the lows are lows. Um, you reach certain plateaus, but that's one of the things that guys get a lot. That their sleep patterns gets tripped up. They're not able to get the quantity of sleep that they desire. But the quality, excuse me, if you could focus on the quality of sleep that you can get, it can help. And then over the course of time, you'll be able to get the quantity that you want, because those spikes of energies, and your energy is real, is wanting to move. Your life force energy is wanting to move, is wanting to, get out and do something. That sexual energy is real. So when it's not being used, and that part of you is wanting to get out and do something, it's a little bit tougher to be able to really utilize that energy and use it. When you try to fall asleep on it, it's like, all right, we're gonna be able to rest, but we're not going to really be able to sleep like the way you want to. Okafor says what to do. Yeah, that 4 hours of sleep is how I get when I do water fast and detox. but my sleep is much deeper. Yes, is that deep sleep, the quality of sleep. That's actually what you want to focus on. Is actually being under. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the road that I'm on right now. Sun's starting to set. And Okafor, I gotta get you out of here. I'm sorry. Talking and Jordan Washington, before you retracted that statement or your message retracted, I seen what it said. It said, what makes you so smooth? It's naturally who I am. Being in check of myself and my emotions the best way that I can be. It's part of my personality. It's who I am. It's not an act. It's not a facade. It's just who I am. I don't pretend or want to be anything outside of myself. And then also with the practice of semen retention, being in control of my vessel, you tend to be more calmer. You'll have more of this calmer, peaceful type of way about you on SR. Excuse me. And that just ties into, your personality and stuff like that. But I have a rage. I haven't felt since 14 or 29. And hold on, J Mastermind. Show my shoes on camera. I got on my walking Jordans. See that? Like that Jordan Washington? Got on some Jordans, man. Anyways, really angry at the world. Last time makes old man. Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, J Mastermind, where's your frustration? Where's this anger channeling from? Because one thing about energy, right? And what you're saying and how you explain it, how you have, some things going on with you energetic wise of feeling how you feeling is coming from somewhere. So you got to be able to explain it. Whether you can't explain it in words, like how you just did a little bit, um, your fury, your anger, right? You got to be able to tell where this energy is coming from because you don't want to misplace it and you don't want to redirect it into something that is unwanted where you can't truly get the anger off in a healthy way. But I understand exactly what you're saying, though, brother. It's a crazy journey to be so awake, surrounded by loose chaos and agents. Yes, I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. Um, we live in tricky times, bro, and this world that we live in, the things going on. Um, when you start to realize the illusion and the foolishness that has been going on, you get upset because you've been placed under illusion, almost disrespectful, right? Been tricked, you've been hoodwinked. But with that fury and with that anger, it's tough to say to how to use that energy. But once when you recognize it, you got to make sure that you don't almost self combust, if you will. J Mastermind. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, J Mastermind. I got a couple. Hold on. Got some cars coming up the street. Hold on real fast. Yep, one of those interaction guys. I was gonna leave it unmuted, but yeah, I didn't know how that conversation was gonna go. Long story short, some guy has stole like a $30-40 flashlight from this guy. He's been looking for him. So he asked me if I've seen a white Honda Civic in this area that I live in. I told him no, I have not. But back to you guys. And that's what happens when you live, guys. You never know, especially when you're outside. You never know what's gonna pop up on you, what's gonna happen. It's a crazy journey. All right, hold on. Chosen Queen. Chosen Queen. How's everything with you? You back in here for another live. And the first thing you want to talk about is Jesus. Jay Mastermind says, I hate the word Jesus. I honestly believe Jesus is the devil. The world is inverted. Mastermind, that was one of the things that we were talking about the illusion. I heard something very profound the other day is that the same people who didn't regard, I'm a melanated man, right? Same people who didn't regard melanated people as human beings. We were one third of a human being at one point. All of a sudden wants to give us the keys to our salvation. It doesn't make sense. Let me say that again for my melanated people. The same people who oppressed, who put in our laws that we were one third of a human being, all of a sudden is giving us the keys to our salvation. Never, ever made any sense. Because once beating us, killing us, enslaving us, and then all of a sudden, boom, here you go. Here's the key to heaven. See, the thing is that once when they realized that we were actually more valuable, we're more valuable alive than dead, meaning that our bodies were more valuable and our minds were the one that they were going to enslave, it would be more beneficial to them on their side instead of actually killing us off. OG Hobbs says, J Mastermind might know something, huh, bro? Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the most awake I've ever been in my life. I've defeated lust and can finally see the world for what it is. I'm ready to find out truth more. You cannot threaten me with a good time. Chosen Queen. It's okay. How you guys doing? You worship the Hoodoo. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up to the chat because I was talking to that guy for a little bit, guys. So I know I got some catching up to do. Well, that guy was talking to me for real. It says she's back with recruiting for Jesus, OG Hobbs. Yeah, She says, I'm unsubscribed, but I also don't hold grudges. Forgiveness is what I'm big on. You say you're doing great. That's what's up. Now, Karina, um, you messed me up a little bit, Karina. That's a new profile picture you got there, Karina. Shouts out to you, Karina. I'm not going anywhere. I just came back from a walk. I've been walking around, taking a little bit of walk, enjoying the day, enjoying the sunlight, enjoying the nice weather. Um, but I'm headed home, walking back to my house. Actually, I'm gonna take a walk to this lake real fast, chill out for a little bit longer. Um, yeah, yeah, Karina, that's the same. That's the same person from the other night. Yes, it is. Karina. I mean, I'm sorry, Karina, you got me messed up. You see what I'm sorry, guys. You see what attractive women do sometimes, guys? Messes you up a little bit. Um, yeah, yeah, of course, I curse you out. Um, Chosen Queen says she doesn't hold grudges, even though she's unsubscribed. I don't hold grudges either. I'm the same exact way. Here's the lake by the house, by the way. Yeah, it's a lake slash creek. I'm just out here chilling. No, I wouldn't probably. This is the thing with me, for real, for real. I'm more of an intellectual person, so I don't care how you look. I know your mindset. I know how you think and what you're into. So, no disrespect. I love people. I would love you as a person, yes, but not on the on the time that you think I would probably. You'll probably be an attractive woman. I'm not saying that. I don't know what it is. I don't know who you are, but your attraction goes out the window the minute I get to know your mindset. And with your mindset and the way that you are pushing your agenda with this Jesus talk, when we wasn't even talking about Jesus at all as a collective in this chat, not just me, as a collective in this chat before you came here, we were talking nothing about religion. We were talking nothing about Jesus. But the way you are and your mindset, I would instantly be, and once again, I'm not saying this to like try to demean you or try to come opposed to you. This is just how I am. With people with a certain mindset, I can't rock with them. Our mindset is too much unalike, and I cannot be around someone like that. And I would that would instantly be a turn off for me because it would always ensue into an argument because you it seems like you feel like your mindset is better than ours out as a collective just by the way you're interacting and the things that you're saying. So um I would love you from afar for sure, But you wouldn't be someone I'm attracted to for real because your mindset. Barco says, I just read The Alchemist. Yeah, man, one of my top favorite books, man. Top three, top three favorite books, man. Glad you opened it. Great read. Probably a thick heart. Yo, J Mastermind is on one right now. Um, and Chosen Queen, you did tell me I was going to hell. I remember that, and that's why I started to curse you out. You see, you could make up, or you could try to say that you didn't say something, or you know, it is what it is. But I took it there with you because you started condemning people, and especially me, like you came for me, and I gave you multiple warnings that I didn't want to go there with you because you don't know me like that, and you don't know how my mouth can get. But then you started, doing what you do, so I had to take it there with you. And Chosen Queen says, so you say if I'm telling you to talk to a person, it'll be different. Um, and yes, you're right. I can't tell tone through typing, but I can read in between the lines. Reading comprehension and how you type, how certain things you type, how it comes off. Once again, I notice patterns in how people engage, and through typing, you can tell a lot. Spelling word. Um, Kalani, peace to you. Well, it didn't bother me because I know who I am. That's fine, Chosen Queen. I'm glad it didn't bother you. Once again, just know that there's a certain context and boundary. If you come for me and tell me that I'm going to hell because I don't agree with you, then I'm going to take it there with you. That's it. Jay Basketball is trying to tell you stop with the recruiting. Yes, that's I don't know what it is with certain people. Once again, very intrusive. Chosen Queen, you got to read the room. You want this live stream controlled by your Jesus, and no one was talking about that. Stacy says heaven and hell are both within. Stacy Galore. I agree. Heaven and hell are my state. But certain people you have to talk to them on their level because they don't understand that concept. I agree with you, Stacy, but certain people feel like it's something else, which is cool. So you just gotta let them have it. Uh, Chosen Queen says, I still love all y'all, though. I hope everyone is doing great mentally. Isaac Williams says, hello, brother. Peace, bro. Peace, Isaac. Room full of independent, critical thinkers. Yes, Jay Mastermind. Um, exactly. Read the room. I read the room, but if I can plant the seed. I will. Chosen queen. That's fine. Planting a seed in infertile ground is what you're doing though. You're not reading the room. You're planting a seed in infertile ground. If you was to truly read the room, you'll see a bunch of us in here are all almost one alike, but you. What you seem to be doing is trying to distract from us, the majority that's in here, and that continues to come along, like the one person just said, heaven and hell is within. They understand a certain part of a doctrine as well. They're reading the room. What you're doing is interjecting yourself for some reason, maybe to recruit. It's not going to work. Your recruiting tactics isn't going to work. But what you are doing is distracting. That's working. And Isaac Williams says, "What up, bro? Hey, man, I'm chilling, man. Enjoy some time outside. I told you I have a friend like that. If she was here, she would talk all day and judge you by the way she lives with her boyfriend and not married and judging people. Damn. So she's shacking up. She's shacking up, unmarried with her boyfriend, having sex, unwedded sex, enjoying her fleshly desires, but then will tell you about yourself and the way you live, not according to Jesus. I get it. There's a lot of those, Karina. Yeah, we got a healthy garden. No seeds needs. God's blessings. I hear that, Isaac. Um, Chosen Queen, before you got in here, we weren't talking about Jesus. When you got in here, now we're talking about Jesus. So even the title of this live stream, if you pay attention, has nothing to do with religion at all. So yes, you are distracted. It's you that is distracted. You're the distractor. We're trying to tell you to go ahead, have a nice day, and no one's trying to take you off your path of Jesus. But what it seems like whatever happened in the last live stream, you've been waiting for an opportunity to come back and still spread your rhetoric. So it's distracting. And yes, I do truly believe that. And if you're leaving, have a great evening. Thank you. Damn, J Mastermind is on one. No one is without sin anyway. I'm not trying to come off as judgmental. Everyone has fallen short of glory. That's why we need a savior. You keep saying we, this we thing. We are not we're not the same. Chosen Queen. So respectfully, if you're saying that you're gonna leave, and I told you that's how I truly feel, you're entitled to stay, leave, do whatever you like. But you're not reading the room though. See, the thing is that and Rad Bait says, God bless you. God loves everyone you're doing. Peace to you. See, the thing is that you are so indoctrinated with this Jesus thing. It seems like you can't talk anything else about anything else other than what you're doing right now. You're too much indoctrinated, and you can't have an outside conversation with about anything other than Jesus. Jay Mastermind says this is why religion is divided. This is exactly why, bro. Jay Mastermind, we was having a whole nother conversation about something else. How the state, you're saying how you were frustrated with, have your eyes open into this illusion of a world that we live in, correct? And then here comes, chosen with this Jesus talk. Honestly, not even understanding that's part of the illusion as well. That's what I'm saying, not reading the room, like bringing religion into it and not understanding that religion, it brings forth the division. It actually plays into the illusion that we've all been living in. Not reading the room. You don't do that when someone's talking about an illusion that on a mass majority level that this world is under. Religion is like the number one culprit that has to do with it, for real, for real. Instead of just being quiet, if you're not too versed in anything else, because Chosen Queen was also the other one that said they don't study anything outside of Jesus Christ. So you're closed off to just one sector of what we can be talking about. Instead of actually sitting back and listening, this person needs to input themselves and talk. God gave you two eyes and two ears and one mouth for a reason. God gave you two eyes to look double time, two ears to hear twice as much, and one mouth, just one. So you need to close one of those holes and open your eyes a little bit more and open your ears up to be able to receive the information and not just bop bop or typing aimlessly. That's all. Yeah, she came. She came at the right time, man. Moosh Chaos Ages. Yeah, Karina. She not close. One of those. So, yeah, people don't understand. To receive better information, it is better to use the doubles that God gave you on your human body. Interjecting with Jesus, man, is crazy, bro. Not everyone wants to hear that, especially after Jay Massman was saying, "Listen, bro, I'm frustrated, and I knew exactly where he was going." You know what I mean? And then here comes the religion talk, which is nobody wants to hear that all the time. Yeah, OG Hobbs lurking, waiting for, and I haven't been on since I don't know what night that was. It might have been like Wednesday night, a Thursday, or something like that. Like privilege. So yeah, waiting to come back with same talks. And once again, I'm not opposed to talking about religion or anything that I believe in, I'm open to it. But you got to read the room for real. You got to read the room. It wasn't the time for real. I noticed you on a nice walking path, family. This live was well needed. Yeah, I be saying, OG Kicks not trying to hear none of that bullshit. OG Kicks, you not beat her. OG, that's funny as hell, yo. Don't you get tired of seeing that? Oh, his lives just popped up. It's crazy because Chosen Queen said that they would subscribe at one point, and I guess after our back and forth ensued, they unsubscribed, which is cool. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, she was still here, but OG Kicks timed her out. He had timed her out because once when she put in that I was just scrolling and I seen. Listen, if you unsubscribe from somebody on his YouTube, which means for whatever reason, right? The content, the content might not be your cup of tea, or you just one subscribe to the person and the person now pissed you off. You got nothing else, you know what I mean, to do with that person. You unsubscribe. That's cool. You know what I mean? I lose subscribers and gain subscribers every so often, right? But if you see me again on the streets of this internet during your scroll, and you know what type of interaction is going to be, if you're not coming with anything new, you come in with the same thing. um I would think the healthy thing to do is right is to just keep it pushing, keep it moving. You see, there's this thing on YouTube where I use it too, where you can actually go to your settings. If you see someone's content, you can actually post not recommend channel. Not only can you unsubscribe from people, but you can also go to your settings and put not recommend channel or not interested. So that way you don't have to see me on your feed no more. So I call bullshit. OG Kicks, OG Kicks was on it. Because once when he seen it, because I've seen that message before, I was just every time you get a bot or agent in here, they always say the same shit. And that's what I was talking about last live stream. It's the same kind of words and tactics. Oh, I was just scrolling through and I seen them. Nah, I don't think so. I think you would sit here again. So, they'll probably come back addressed under another screen name, which is cool. It's all good. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Black privilege says you pissed me off a couple weeks back, but truth be told, you a solid brother. Black privilege, I pissed you off. I piss a lot of people off on here, brother. And I appreciate you saying I'm a solid brother, man. Listen, um, once again, to anyone, when we have these discussions, when we talk, um, listen, I'm not a combative person. My intent isn't to piss people off, but when you tell the truth and you speak your truth, I can't worry about how it affects people. And if it pisses you off, um, it shows signs more of an issue with actually you than actually with me, because I've spoken my truth. I've said what I need to say. A lot of people get pissed off with people like me, myself, who speak their truth. And I asked him, who you mad at? For real, me or yourself? Because I may have said something in my truth that may have triggered you. And I'm pretty sure what I said may have triggered some things. And if that's what it did, then it is what it is. And like, once again, I'm not saying this to be an asshole or anything, but I can't worry about how my truth lands. I just got to say my truth. Um, yeah, emotions come and go, brother. No hard feelings. You're absolutely right. Um, and we could revisit what I was talking about as well for a little bit because my phone's about to die and it's getting dark out here. But let me see what Jay Mastermind is saying. The thing they won't say is you got pissed off at them, and that's how you know I'm biased and calm. But your problems always come from someone else feeling away. Yeah. Um, Black privilege had a problem with me, or has a problem with me, because I don't have an issue with. We was talking about dating outside the race. Yep, I was just about. That's always touchy. Yeah, for some reason that's touchy with you, brother. I would disservice. My boo. Peace, peace, love. How's everything? Said charge my phone and come back. Hold on, guys. I know exactly. I pretty much know why I'm probably lagging. Hold on, guys. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. I'm good now. I was um I was outside. I was outside my house, so it's probably trying to pick up on the internet. I still need to get my charger though. Give me 1 second, guys. But y'all can still hear me. Listen, opening up my coming from a place of ego, but as an attractive black man, I understand that I am a commodity. Okay, meaning that during my journey, and coming across different females, all right, on my journey of all races, they tend to have a certain attraction towards me. To limit myself down to just my preference, right? I'd be doing myself a disservice. I've heard an OG tell me this. I've heard multiple OGs say this. Don't always go for the girl that you like. Go for the girl that likes you. It's very sound advice. Like who likes you. I love my melanated woman too. That's my first preference, bro. And that's why I always put that out there. My first preference, what I am naturally attracted to, what always catches my eyes is melanated women. And J Mastermind says, but they don't love you to say. Um, and it's a big issue. I 100. I'm on the same. We on the same page, J Mastermind. Black privilege has a problem with me though because I'm open and honest about stepping outside of the race and dating outside the race, having that as an option and willing and potentially. I didn't even say I was going to. I just said I understand my value and how much I am valued outside of my race because of those said things, the way it is, the issues in our communities as Black people, how Black men are treated, have been treated by our sisters, the competitiveness, and yeah, just getting a certain treatment. Once again, I've been told this. My boo is taking notes. Listen, I was told by an OG, and I've heard this from different OGs. Don't go for the girl that you like. Go for the girl that likes you. We lose no matter who we choose for some reason. I was told, bro, let the woman choose you, bro. That's where that saying comes from. Don't always go for the woman that you like. Go for the woman that likes you. See, you're more sure that the woman likes you when she likes you, right? You're not too sure if you like her, if she's gonna like you back. Um, never limit yourself in any aspect. I love Black women though. Hey man, listen, my mother was a Black woman. And I said this the last live too. My mother told me the same thing. What she wanted for me was a woman to love me the right way. She didn't say a Black woman. She didn't say no type of any other. She didn't mention race, bro. It wasn't about race for her. She was a Black woman, obviously, right? Because a mother's love is unconditional. That's what she wanted. I don't want to love a woman just because she's Black. When it comes down to it, if the feeling is mutual, all that shouldn't matter for real, for real. And Jay Mastermind, that's um he says every yep, girl. I was with only want the black D. I mean, I've brought that up too. That is a fetish thing, yes. Sometimes it is a fetish thing. And OG Leandro Drone, if I'm saying that right, said, "What up, bro? Joining from Wales. I'm a rapper joining from Wales. Shouts out to Wales, man. And peace to you." I didn't even peep what Too Cool said, but it's I took care of it. It's cool. Facts, mom, dudes. Yeah, man. So, is this live going to be repeat about the girls we like? We can't talk about it, Black privilege. I brought it up and other people are responding, bro. You're not the only one in this live. It's females in here taking notes on what I'm saying. You know what I mean? If it's uncomfortable for you, it is what it is. I was a victim of tax refund offset. And I owe the IRS nothing. That's what's up. Well, you keep mentioning my name behind it. You want to move on, Black Privilege? We can. I can see it's starting to trigger you again. What would you like to talk about, Black Privilege? I don't want to trigger you again, bro. And have you pissed off for another couple weeks. You think about the topic. Let me go grab my charger, bro. Sensitive ass. Oh man. Ah, sensitive thugs that all need hugs. Oh man. I'm gonna take the headphones out too. OG Hobbs, that's what I'm saying, bro. I just wanted to bring context to, him being pissed off weeks ago. But I see it's that's a triggering topic for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't understand why, but it's not my duty to understand what he got going on for real. So we can move on. It's alright. Yeah, weeks ago though, not yesterday, not a couple days ago. This is a topic weeks ago. Let's move on. I don't want to pick on, bro. You know what we can't talk about? I don't know if Jay Mastermind. Jay Mastermind, you had said something earlier. Um, I'm gonna try to go back up. It wasn't too far up. You had said something. And my Mabu, you did ask how my weekend was. My weekend has been great. It's been good. Yes, Jay Mastermind, I think I got it. I want to talk about this war, man. Uh, things got real overnight. What happened during the overnight? There you go. Yeah. What happened during the overnight? Let's talk about that, man. We can talk about that for a little bit. I might, at some point, get off of the live and then come back on later. I might get off for like an hour or two and then come back on later. Barrel of oil is 109 as we speak. The other day it went to 87, and now Monday it will be 2008 prices. Um, yes, I did notice. I do live down the street from a gas station, store or whatever, right? So my first walk today was to the store. I took a, walk to the store or whatever. Um, this war's not going to end like we think. Yeah, it's been seeming like this for a little minute. Talks of war for a couple years now. Um, what I noticed was the gas prices climbing very quickly. Um, and the gas station that's right down the street from my house, it was under $3 just this following week. It's been at $2.99 for a good minute at this gas station. And then yesterday I went to the gas station. I walked to the gas station, took a walk. It was at like 320 something. I took a walk today. Is at 359. I said, yikes. Thank God I ain't lazy and I gotta drive everywhere, right? I got this gas station right there. I just walk. But just noticing that within days, like you say, overnight, just how things are just changing like that. Black Privilege says, what are you afraid of? Getting expensive, yeah, nah, for sure. Are you asking, Black Privilege, are you asking in general, what am I afraid of? Or are you talking about the war? I'm not too sure. If that's a generalized question of being afraid of something. Miss Shan, peace to you, love. How's everything? I haven't seen you in here in a minute. I don't support war. Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I had to turn my Bluetooth off. All right, Black Privilege. If you're gonna be condescending, I'm not gonna answer you, bro. Because we're talking about, it's not straightforward. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. Are you speaking in general or are you talking about the war? Because Jay Mastermind answered you in the context of being afraid of an ensuing war that's going on, because that's what me and him were talking about. You interjecting, saying, what are you afraid of? I'm not answering you, bro. Until you address me right, I'm not answering nothing you got to say. And you're about to be kicked out. So you got, that's strike 2 for you. You got one more time to call me boy again. Or my moderators is gonna do what they do. I'm giving them permission to. I'm giving you one more chance, bro. Be cordial. We got off the topic. If I gotta be disrespectful with you, right, OG Kicks. Like I laid up off of him and not triggering his sensitive ways. Holding on to sentimental feelings from weeks ago. Because you sensitive. And then we move on. He mad, right?
You sensitive. I'm not a boy though. See, the thing is that I can prove that you're sensitive just by your interactions. I'm not no boy, and I could show you better than I could tell you. We had to move off the subject because you got in your feelings from something that was weeks ago. You're sensitive. You can't. You want me to prove to you that I'm not a boy? I can do that. You dishing out words, trying to get a reaction. You're actually sensitive because as soon as we start to talk about a different topic or start to talk about a set topic that was based around you, we got to do this again. You're sensitive. Now it's anyway, bro. Ask your question again. Be cordial. How about that? If not, then you go on. Sean, peace, brother. Because I took your question as legit and tried to show you the respect after the fact, didn't I? Even though I called you a sensitive thug, I still gave you an option to say, yo, what do you want to talk about, bro? And when I wasn't clear on what you were saying, I asked you, are you talking about in general or are you talking in context of the topic of war? So I'm still engaging with you. I moved on from calling you sensitive. You want to take it there? We could take it there. I'm being nice tonight. You got strike two. Another one, you're gone. Lily Crushes. Lily Crutches, you haven't been in here in a while. I don't know. Peace to you, Lily Crushes. Thank you. I have so much. Oh, wow. Okay. What am I afraid of? I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm afraid of. Black privilege. I got you. Lily Crutches says, hey, lover. I appreciate you, Lily. Yeah, I'm patient for right now. Yeah, please behave yourself, Lily. I appreciate that. Um, Mama Boo, you know what it is? Some people I like to give the benefit, a little bit of benefit of the doubt, right? Especially some who come back, and even like Chosen Queen, right? Oh, I don't think you was in here, Mama Boo, just yet. But Chosen Queen, someone came back, um, and once again, I don't hold grudges against anybody. Yeah, some people are rude. I don't hold grudges against anybody, and I can see sometimes people don't hold a grudge against me or whatever the case may be. So they come back because whatever we say or what we go through, something keeps them coming back. So when I notice certain people come back, um, I'm still willing to talk to them to see why they come back. And the more and more I interact with them, it lets me know more about who they are, what they represent. J Mastermind says, I never in my life trolled anybody. I can't and refuse to spend my time like that. These people have a good troll time. Yeah. One of the things that I'm afraid of is people. I'm afraid of people. I'm being dead serious too. I'm afraid of people because I know of some of the dangers that people possess. Some people can't control themselves, and when the pressure is put on them, they are liable to do anything, especially out of survival. Yeah, Black Privilege, I finally answered your question. See, I was going to take more time to answer your question, too. I was purposely doing that. I was testing your patience just to see that reply. But I'm afraid of people, for real. The expectations put on you by other people, it's a hard thing to live up to. Other people's expectations. So I tend to take time with people. On the internet is easy, right? But dealing with people in real life, especially in the public, when I'm in a crowd setting, my senses go all the way up. Can't trust too many people at one time like that. Anything can happen. Lily Crutcher says, I think it's because a lot of these kids don't have fathers. It might be kids on here. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, there's a lot of kids on here. Can't help themselves, right? And yes, never people please. Yeah, I just heard a message today about people pleasing. Uh, dealing with people and having people around. You're always gonna have, if you got a person around you, it's gonna come a point where you're gonna expect them to do something, right? It's always an energy exchange, right? But a lot of people will be, not a lot of people, but some people really don't know how to be independent like that. So it's a codependency thing that's happening where, you know, it comes down to people pleasing. You want to be pleasant around people and for people that really deserve it, right? Special people around you or people that you're getting to know. Um, you do want to be pleasing to them. It is a benefit to have, but it becomes a codependency thing, man, and people require too much from you. It becomes a scary thing. You don't want to upset someone. You don't want them to think a certain way of you or whatever the case may be. Then you get into this whole thing where you just can't care. It sucks to say, like, you don't stop caring for people, but things happen. I truly believe people pleasers have the most miserable life because nothing is never enough. Yes, I don't fear people getting to know them. I learned to have discernment at my age 41, so any gut feeling I get, I cut off quick only because my time is valuable. Yeah, I get that, Lily. Yeah, I don't care what people think anymore. I'm the same way. And that's where my truth comes in. I just start saying how I feel, and whoever affects it affects. Facts over feelings. Bro, do a live stream where you try. Yeah, discernment, intuition, clairvoyance. That has been my experience on 120 days of semen retention. I can tell instantly when someone is lying to me or any other funny stuff. Yeah, man, these trolls, and it's funny. We talked about trolls. Well, I talked about trolls my last live stream. Um, yeah, Lily. People going to think what they think, regardless. So I might as well be truly and authentically myself. And let them think what they want, for real, for real. People going to assume and make their, decisions anyway on what they want. Um, yeah, good looking OG Kicks. OG Kicks is on it tonight. Um, we talked about bots and how bots come along on these live streams and have to be a part of the interaction with doing live streams and how they get sent. They learn your profile as Lauryn Hill reference, yes. Um, bots come along and have to engage in a certain way, and usually they always come with the same message on live streams. Once again, this was brought by the attention of a known YouTuber on here, a known live streamer on here, and he started to notice the same. I don't want to say tactics, but it's kind of like tactics. It's almost like scripting, if you will. It's always religious talk, Jesus. That's like trigger words, right? And that's how you get these agents and trolls to come on certain live feeds because they know the person that's hosting the live, after a while, they gain enough information and data on that person. They analyze. And if you guys don't think that they go back and watch these lives on the other side, to learn a person, to learn a profile, and then being able to put you in a certain way where the algorithm can pick up on you and have these people come along. So religion is a trigger, triggering. And what bro said about it's always that too. Going to find a job, this and that. So it's always put, the way he expressed it and broke it down was perfect. You might get someone who puts it in a different wording or verbiage, but it's always the same trolls. Not always the same trolls, but always the same type of comments. You need a key point, learn your channel, the most likely adding bots to each channel depending on what topics they trigger. Yes, exactly, J Mastermind. That's excuse me, that's exactly what it is. I wonder why people feel that Jesus' word would get a person mad. I've learned to just ignore the trolls, like literally gloss over their comment. Yeah. When I get to that point, I do the same thing. I just scroll right past it. I gloss right over it. I told myself if I ever stream, I'm not reading out loud. I'll just block. Yeah. And Lily, you got to understand, it's not that the Jesus word would, they're not banking on that it would get the person mad. It's a trigger word. And a trigger isn't necessarily that something that's bad or to make the person mad. They just know from, especially with me, right? Just regarding me, And for instance, how my lives go and what I'm about. They have enough information on me right now to know that I'm on record of saying I don't conform to any religion, group, creed, cult, anything of that nature, right? There's also uploaded lives from before when we have had back and forth uh, dialogue on religion. So they have enough information going along to know that these topics are a hot topic, and that'll draw in people who will um, be argumentative or trolls to come in and either try to divert off of certain topics, or that word being a trigger to have the trolls come in and do what they do. Because and I'm gonna give you another example of how it's a trigger too. So if I was on the other side, right? That's true. Yeah, I got only get triggered because I'm at a point of tiredness. Deshaun Foster, peace, brother. Just tired of the BS indoctrination. Yes. Let's say if I came on here, right, and I was pushing Christianity hard. Let's say if I was a Jesus Christ follower and Jesus, if I came on here and now did the same thing and that Jesus word came up, I would still get the influx of those same trolls. It's just that the trigger word is that. And when people, because what I used to get a lot was, are you Christian? 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 Like, I always used to get that. What do you follow? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in this? Are you atheist? Are you this? It's always the same questions being asked, but it comes from the trigger words, right? So after a while, if I don't speak on the topic, then I get someone that comes in, like someone came in here earlier and, inputted their 2 cents, because most of the time they can tell how it's going to go, but they already know my profile. They already know what's going on this side of these live streams. So every now and then it comes up. Now, it's a topic to be had, even if you're randomly scrolling. But when I randomly scroll, that's not always the first thing that's on my mind, is to ask the person their religious affiliation. If I come across a live, because I'm a consumer just like everybody else too at times, right? If I scroll across someone's live and I find them interesting and they're talking about something that has nothing to do with religion, my first thought isn't to ask them, oh, let me ask them their religious background. I remember one night we were talking about music, movies, and all this other stuff. Are you Christian? It came out of nowhere. And at that time, I didn't understand, because I'm like, people really be on here randomly just asking you your religious background. Well, I just came in live. I just was scrolling. I seen you, but were you actually listening to what we were talking about? Like, we're comparing movies and what's our favorite. So where did that come from? Not until I started to understand, right, how they want to push you in the algorithm, and how they have you profiled, and what trigger words used to get the numbers jumping up and going crazy and stuff like that. Not until I finally understood that, then I said, all right, now I get it. It ain't a random thing. Everything is not random when it happens. It's purposely done like that. Sierra, peace to you. I think bots are programmed to go after all people's pages who are talking about certain topics or words. I ain't even want to say those words, Sierra, but yeah. And yes, that's another thing too. Certain politics, There's basically keywords. I went to a party. What happened, bro? You usually don't engage with trolls, so it must have been something serious. No, I engage with the trolls for sure. They sure. But nothing serious happened. We just, bringing some awareness to what's going on these YouTube streets. And we thought blocking censorship, I don't like it unless someone is, yeah. J Mastermind says, who's hated more than a non-conformist? Nobody. Both sides hate you equally for not falling for neither BS. This world is truly funny once you wake, family. Yeah. So basically in order for the bots to not put you in the box, don't answer them. This is the thing, Lily. If you don't, at a certain point, you have to answer to somebody, right? If we doing live streams and people are doing question and answers, right? And you have genuine people out there that are subscribed to you, that enjoy what you're doing, that enjoy your likeness. So people genuinely who come across these feeds, they're going to ask, what you're about, who you are and stuff. Now, when you do answer them, what comes along with that is the gathering of the information. It's something that you really can't avoid. But the thing is that when they come in with a certain way they want your live stream to go, that's what makes it tricky. Like I said, I started this live stream by taking a walk in my neighborhood. It was a sunny day. Snow was melted, so we got an actual sidewalk to walk on. So we're not so close to the road while cars are going by. It was a nice enough day where it wasn't windy. It's the perfect setting, not too cold, fresh air. And I was talking about semen retention, for the most part in the beginning of this live for real. I was talking about semen retention, certain aspects of the topic. And then out of nowhere, here comes someone with Jesus talk. So it's one thing where I like to not even tell the people, however the topics go, the topics go. But if you're a real person, you read the room, right? And then Jay Mastermind, he'd been here for a minute. He was saying how he was kind of frustrated with the current affairs of the world. So there's certain things that we're talking about where if you just come in, read the room, read the chat, pay attention to the host and where the host is going, then that's one thing. But then some people just come in out of left field, nowhere, where it doesn't even really make any sense. But it makes sense, if you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna give a damn, I'll block you if I'm offended. Some people will be nasty. Nice. I think you roll that blue. Yes. Yeah. I get you, Lily. Yeah, same here, Jay Mastermind. When you don't conform to society, you just want to be you in your own right and analyze things how you see them and how you see them fit. You'll still get ostracized for that. People are offended over everything these days. If you don't like an opinion, oh well. If you're offended, that's on you. I asked them, so, oh, you attacked me because, yeah, that's the crazy part. You don't pick a side, so both sides come and get you. They come after you. It's either you pick a side or you get attacked. That's yeah, it's crazy, bro. Um, Caesar Blanco says, hi, peace. Yeah, man, it's experienced the same thing, bro. It's funny because, right, if you say you're not Christian, right, I know this is going to be a trigger, but it is what it is at this point, right? If you say you're not a Christian, right, then they ask you, what are you? I ain't nothing. You'll get now someone, because this happened to me, dead on live stream. Are you Hebrew Israelite? Are you Muslim? I'd be like, no, I'm not, none of that. I've had all of those denominations try to come for me, bro. So I get exactly what you're saying. This happened to me on live stream, bro. I chose my peace of mind. Yeah, I hear you, Lily. Um, yeah, they'll come after you, and yeah, it's just it's a crazy sight to see and experience. To want to have a mind of your own and for your own, you got to be something. You got to conform to something. If not, exactly, bro. It's weird. I don't get it. Yeah, OG Kicks. Have you found a answer to why yet? Um, nah, I haven't found the answer to why, bro. One of the answers to a possible why is, like I always say, it's a control thing. It seems like it don't even matter what religion. It don't matter what religion you can be subscribed to. As long as you subscribe to a religion, it is a form of mind control. See, with religion, and if you conform to a religion, this comes down to profiling. They'll understand, at least to a certain degree, of who you are, what you stand for, um, because the profile that comes with it, there's a certain amount of characteristics that comes with a certain way you carry yourself in a lifestyle of religion, depending on the religion. Society is programmed. That's what it says. It's programming, bro. See, you about to get deep. We're going to get deeper in here as the more that we talk about it. But this is what I feel. There's a certain profile that's put on you. There's a certain characteristic that goes along with a religion and how you. Karina, I don't know if Karina is still in here, but Karina was saying this about Chosen Queen, J Mastermind. If you notice, I have a friend that's just like Chosen Queen. That's always talking this Jesus stuff, right? Don't we all kind of have that same friend who they might have had something happen to them, right? They took the path of going the Jesus Christ route. And now that they have had that experience, they're trying to push it on everyone else. Now, does that sound to you more of a Jesus Christ thing or a personality switch thing to now that person is what it comes off as recruiting? It doesn't more so come across as speaking in truth or sharing their story, because they're not actually sharing anything. They're just pushing a certain agenda. Dependent, yes. But if you notice, when Karina said it the first time, the first live stream where we had that interaction, she noticed, she was like, yo, I got a friend like that. Like, so it's almost like predictive programming. When certain people turn to religion, go through the religion, whatever that religion is, and when they come out on the other side, they start to move a certain type of way. Everything they are about now is Jesus. They can't think anything outside of Jesus because that's the way they were programmed and conditioned to go. There's more and more people like that. I've seen it also. They just don't, it's predictive programming, bro. And with religion, it's the same thing, bro. I listen, I don't know who out there listening. You know, some of us in here, we get what's going on, but I'm sorry, with a lot of religion and how things go, it is predictive programming. They know, hold on, they try to call people atheists and knowledge as we didn't explain we don't conform to any titles. Even when you scream it out loud, they still try to put a title on us. Yes. That's another thing too. Yeah, Jay Mastermind. Yeah, absolutely. You're 100. If you say nah, I don't. So you're atheist. Do you believe? So now they chalk it up to. So do you believe in God? Where did believing in God? Where was believing in God synonymous with subscribing to a religion? The next thing we will be is aliens because we are so separated from society. Connor History Channel, peace. Yeah, Jay Mastermind. There was another instance I was about to talk about, man, but it slipped my mind. I'll probably think about it later. But yeah, man, this internet is tricky. Doing these lives, it gets trickier when you're a certain way and personality, but society in general, the way it is with the profiling, and like I said, when this is what I was going to say, with certain religions, right, and what has been taught through the religion, and with predictive programming, your replies, your attitude, how you go about things, how you respond to things, they will be able to predict how and what you might do based on how you were taught religiously, right? So, for instance, this is just on a small scale, right? You're a follower of Jesus Christ. If something is done to you, right? What is the most common thing to do as a reaction? It's very famous. You will suffer in society if you are, if not of this world, it seems. Yeah. There's something that is always said that you should do as a follower of Jesus Christ. If something is done to you in distaste, in dishonor. And that's turn the other cheek. I didn't see it. If you subscribe to Christianity, that's something that they'll tell you. To be like Christ, WWJD, what would Jesus do? It's to dumb you down. Turn your other cheek. Look the other way. Predictive programming, when you say you are about that life, you are a follower of Jesus in that context. So anything that you do outside of that, right? It's not Christ-like. It's not Christian-like. So you got to go correct that. If someone slaps me out of self-defense, and I don't want to make it too extreme or, too far-fetched of a analogy to bring here, but if someone slaps me out of self-defense, I'm going to slap them back. I'm going to protect myself. It's not something that's taught in religion. What you're taught in religion is do the Christ thing. See, Jesus was getting more than slapped. He was getting spat on, rocks thrown at him, all this other stuff, and he still carried on, right? That's what you should do. Not protect yourself, but turn the other cheek. OG Cakes, man, I appreciate that. I'm not too sure on the title yet, bro. I've actually had to take a break from writing it, bro, because that pneumonia was kicking my ass, so I got to get my mind back right and get back into book mode for real. OG Kick says forgive. And forgiveness is a big part of living life as well, right? Because there is a space where you cannot hold too much hatred or grudge in your heart space. This has to do with spirituality, though. This has nothing to do with overall Christianity. This is a universal thing. Love and hate can't exist in the same spot. So there has to be a certain amount of forgiveness that you do have to move around with for the sake of you, though. There's a saying, you can forgive but never forget, because you know where that can lead you into just turning a blind eye to the lesson that had to be learned at that time. All right, you forgive that person or forgive what happened, whatever trespass you may have done to yourself or to someone, and you move on. J Mastermind, man, I appreciate you. Fear no one, but God forever. Says hi, peace. Glad to see you in here tonight. I can't speak like this. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro. OG Hobbs, yeah. Yes, sir. Be deemed crazy and put in a psych ward for these conversations. And sad for the other day, my bad. Yeah, that wasn't yesterday. Yeah, you're right. That was a couple days ago. But yeah, man. Go back. But yeah, OG Kicks. OG Kicks, man. Yeah, still no title on the book, man. I just been, when I was in the writing process, I just wanted to get the writing out into the chapters, bro. I wasn't really thinking the title, but I started to think about it a little bit more, about the title for the book. Still haven't came up with anything yet. It'll probably come to me as I jump back into the writing process. But battling that sickness, bro, last week was really, it was crazy. It set me back. It set me back for real. Yeah, nah, that's a fact, J Mastermind. That was, I just wanted to start the book, for real. and I'm glad I got it started. A lot of progress made, but in between getting sick, having everything all jumbled up now in my mind, I the second day I was dealing with this pneumonia, bro, I had such a wicked headache, and it felt like my eyes was bulging, bro. Like that shit, I couldn't process anything, bro. Could not process a damn thing. So I was just stuck there, just waiting for time to pass. But yeah, once again, these profiles that I put on you based around the religion. Yeah, man, I'm glad I'm straight too, bro. I think when I started the live, I said I was back to around like a 90%, 90% better. It's still not all the way 100, but you know, way better. Um, Not too much, J Mastermind. I've been still recovering a little bit, but my energy has been back for the most part. The day that I did come back, I was on live stream at the gym, but I plan to be back in there this week though, back to my normal routine. I was off for like 4 or 5 days from the gym. Now I'm gonna be right back into it. I'll start this burpee challenge. Yeah. How many? What's your goal on the burpee challenge? You know, are we ever going to be in a relationship again? I don't want to release ever again. Andrew, peace to you, brother. Um, Andrew is asking, being on semen retention, are we ever going to be in a relationship again? I don't want to ever want to release ever again. My bad. Believe it or not, I got a girl that's willing to be with me right now. And I was just about to say that, J Mastermind, when you are on this path and you find someone who understands you, and you're honest about what you're on, and when you bring that aspect of semen retention and the lifestyle into a relationship, the female that is with you and is willing to sit down with you and understand the process makes it easier to be in the process with, if that makes sense. Andrew, there is ways. To your goal is to get 5 to 10 per minute. Okay, nice. There are ways you can be in a relationship, and I don't know about never releasing again, but there is a such thing called non-ejaculatory sex. So if you're in a relationship and you and your partner do plan to have sexual intercourse, you don't have to release. You can have sex without releasing. It's called non-ejaculatory sex. It takes practice. It takes a strong pelvic floor to be able to control yourself and control when the orgasms is coming and not to release. So that's a way to go about it. That's good old tantra. Yes. So yeah, is that part. You can be in a relationship and do it that way. And then just having someone that's with you who is on their own celibacy journey too, that doesn't need to feed in. That doesn't sound like I mean, yeah. um it takes practice, it takes getting used to, um for sure, for sure. Is that part. And then if you have a female who, if you have grown into a certain point where you're a guy and your desires and your sexual appetite isn't like that, um if your sexual appetite isn't like that and your partner matches that, then sex doesn't have to be on the forefront of the relationship like that. You get what I'm saying? Is It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. You guys could go y'all spurts without having sex, like what Jay Mastermind said. He has a girl 120 days. Um, Other people, they need that as a part of their life. Some people don't. It is what it is. It all depends on how's it going in your life and your relationship and how it caters, if it makes sense in your relationship. Now, Jake, I don't even know you, right? He says, whatever happened to Gyro Brown, cuh? Jake, for you to ask that, and I don't know who you are on this channel, but I know who Gyro Brown is, I'm going to make maybe a crazy guess that maybe you're Gyro Brown. And you'll like to say, what happened? You tell us what happened to Gyro Brown. Thing is, once you break that lust spell, you don't see it as pleasure anymore. It is strictly for created children in my mind. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When your perception has to change on sex as the dynamic and what's going on in your relationship. And if you have a partner that's willing to come in and understand and have their perception change, then it can work out for real. You can be in a relationship and still retain. And I get you, OG Hobbs, man. It is very tempting. Once when you're in the heat of the moment, it is very tempting. So once again, it takes practice. It takes time. And if you're willing to do it, then it's there. But hey man, I'm shy of 6 feet and been handsome all my life. Women have never been an issue for me. And that's all my life. So it's funny to me when people who don't even experience what I have and can't give up lust. Yeah, same here. It's the same here. I never had a problem with women and dating and stuff like that. But once again, it's the lust. Once when you're able to remove the lust from yourself first, and then you start to seek and date other people, you get to see for what it is with them. It can expose something within them as well. It can expose the lust that's within them. And if they're willing to work on it, like you have and you are, then it can work. If they're not, then that person really isn't for you. The relationship isn't going to work. Fly Tiger Viper says, remember how Gouda cheese is overrated, my brother? Yes. Is it okay to comment or is it instant block? Black privilege. I'm glad to see you back after taking, your time out. My moderators, listen. If you don't like to listen, bro, if you think that, what I mean, because you're on the internet and, you can do what you do or say what you like and have no consequences, then you're free to do whatever you like. What I asked you before was be cordial. You know, there's moderators in here. They want you to be respectful as well. I would like you to be respectful as well. We had sayings back and forth, whatever we had to say, we have been moved past it. If you are still on that type of timing, it will be an instant block. So you got the answer for your, your own questions. If you're coming in here with a certain type of energy, you're going to be blocked, bro. No one else in here, right? There's been people in here for a very good minute, the same guys. OG Ha's been in here for a little bit. Since the beginning of the live, J Mastermind been in here. They're conducting themselves a certain type of way because we are men here and we're talking to each other a certain type of way, right? Black privilege, if you in here, if you have something to say, even if we had a previous whatever, I don't hold on to that shit until I see the person pop back up and then they bring it up. But if you still want to ride off of that energy, it's only going to last but so long. I've already gave the okay to the moderator. Listen, 2 strikes, 3. Sometimes I get my moderator, hey, leave this person in here. And the moderators be cool with that. But you start to go off a certain way, black privilege, where you make yourself a mark. Andrew says, and yeah, man, nah, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, black privilege, if you can't control yourself, then it's best for you to leave, bro. If you have to say something where you just can't be around who's ever in the chat, whether it be females, dudes, or whatever the case may be, and have a decent conversation, then this place isn't for you, bro. If you thought this was going to be the place where you could just come back and troll whenever you like, it's not for you then. I'm sorry. You think you get to speak on the internet however you want to speak to people, and this ain't that. See, the good thing about having your own platform and being the host is that I created this. So if you feel some type of way about me calling you sensitive, understand this, that I show my face, I got the microphone, so I get to speak to the people. Then we get to move on. But if you feel some type of way with it or about it, there's but so much you can do, and then you can get up out of here. Or my moderators can get you up out of here. That's the luxury of creating something for yourself, is that you get to control it. But I'm not going to pick on you. But this is a place here where you can pop your shit, but for so long, you wasn't banned off of the channel or hidden from the channel. You just put in time out to reanalyze yourself and think about it. Once again, even the moderator is giving you a little leeway. Just times you out for, you know what I mean, however many seconds, minutes, or whatever case may be, now you back. But once again, if you coming in here with bullshit, you're going to get up out of here. They got the green light to get you going. If it's best for you to leave, bro, then you can leave. It's cool. I appreciate that, Mama Boo. You know, some people respect it. I'm not gonna say some. A lot of guys respect the work. They respect the discipline. When you have really gone through, and I don't know who's in here right now, it's your first time here. My content is based around semen retention, that generally is for guys who are celibate, who are practicing a life of celibacy, conserving their semen, the life force energy, and until you have really gone through the process, gone through the fire, um, you won't really understand like the other guys and other brothers. I respect you guys too. When you guys tell me the days that you guys are on, I understand it. It's not easy. It is not easy, bro. So I respect a lot of guys come through and say that, you know, they respect me and do for what I do. Um, and I appreciate you, J Mastermind, W Chat and W Mods, for real, for real. And Goosey says W semen retention. Uh, for the guys who come through and show love and say, yo, I respect you for what you do and putting information out there. When guys reach out and they put themselves out there and share with me their journey, the respect is mutual because I know the fight and the battles that it takes to get to certain heights. So I respect the guys that come across, seek the information, and and take heed to the information and use the information for their journey. And those that go on and, you know, prosper with their journey, man, it takes a lot. And Fly Tiger Viper, nah, I never played rugby. Only good old-fashioned American football. OG Kicks OG Kicks ain't played none of that shit with black privilege. You're not listening, right? Listen, man, people like that, man, they're gonna have a hard time in life. I know it's just the internet, but they don't understand like their actions and how things play out. Sad reality, bro. Yeah, a lane, bro. And once again, I know it's the internet. You can OG House, we talked about this. People can pretend to be whoever they want on the internet. They come on this internet and not even if they are a creator or have a platform, even if you're behind a screen name, you get to pretend to be whoever you want, type whatever you want and do whatever you want. But then you got to go out into the real world in reality, and you have to really be who you are. Low key, you live in a falsehood. Come on the internet to do some false shit, some shit that you wouldn't really be doing in real life. And then when you go out into the real world, you really got to be who you are. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's going to have a hard time being out there in reality, because here is his escape to try to pretend to be something that he isn't. It's not what the internet is for. And I don't want to gossip about, bro. He's not in here no more. But one of the things, and just to give context, because I know some people are newer here and don't understand the history that me and black privilege has had in the past. This brother has gone from, and Christella says hi, peace, Christella. Little context. When I first met black privilege on his channel, when he came across one of my lives, it was around the same topic, right? He was talking about black women. He had a black black girlfriend in his life, right? And he was telling me this and that, you know, he has a black girlfriend and whatever. And then like a live or two later, or a couple lives later, I was just expressing how the options are open for me, not just with black women. And a lot of our brothers, they feel like they be on this whole ego trip, on this Dr. Umar only dated uh your black race and stuff like that. So he was tripping pretty hard. And however he felt about it, he felt about it. But I was just giving him, my opinion on it. Now, something happened where I brought up, I said, you got a black girlfriend, right? Are you, and what triggered him is that I asked him, are you actually happy in your relationship with your black girlfriend? Because you're spending an awful lot of time trying to convince me, and I'm not even dating. I'm not even actively dating. You're trying to convince me, Goosey chill, bro. Um, about a black relationship, and like, are you truly happy in your relationship with your black girlfriend? And he never answered me, and I think it triggered him. It pissed him off. That's why when he came in today, he said I pissed him off, because I think I was hitting some spots that were triggering for him, and he never answered me. So I wasn't going to bring it up today, but the way he kept, I don't know, just doing what he was doing, I figured I'd bring that up to you guys and make some context out of it, because he went from, sharing with me certain details about himself and his life and what he had going on. He even told me that he had recently moved and stuff like that. And then it was kind of weird. He was talking about the women that were down. He said he moved to Mississippi. I got a sharp memory. So it was more things than just the conversation that we had, that we were arguing about, that I just remember. I remember him telling me that he moved to Mississippi, but then he never talked about his girlfriend again. So I was asking him, well, your black girlfriend, where, you know what I mean? Where's she at? Are you truly happy in that relationship? Were you ever really in a relationship with a black girl? Never answered me. So, you know. Same High Peace says, I'm ready to give up on, life often, but then something happens to just give me hope to keep going. It's like the universe just won't let me suffer to the point of ending it. Man, that's deep, Sam Hyde. Yeah, Sam Hyde, yeah, I hear you, Sam Hyde. Jay Mastermind says you can't follow thoughts to overpower you. Yeah, man. Yeah, stay up, Sam Hyde, bro. Like Jay Mastermind is saying, like everyone is saying, man, stay strong. But positive spaces, bro. Staying in positive spaces, staying in the positive mind capacity. Tough times ends, bro. Tough time does end. Fly Tiger Viper says, thoughts on Obama. Um, I don't know, bro. I don't really have thoughts on him at this current time. Yeah, man. Sam Hyde, you still in here, man? You got brothers in here listening to you or reading what you're saying. Yeah, me either. Deshaun Foster. That's why it tripped me up a little bit to see that. I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I don't want to make it seem like I got all the right answers either. So you guys picking him up is is a benefit too. This is one of the reasons why I created spaces like this, for real, bro. It's why I came to do semen retention content, why I don't self-name it myself. I name it Crowd of Boyz because we are all, at one point, young-minded men or young-minded boy coming together as a collection to just share certain experiences. And with the experience of, based around semen retention in that aspect, you know, we're coming from a place of battling certain traumas, certain addictions, still going through the process of battling those addictions and fighting through a lustful spirit. We're coming impressionable as little children, and as we collect and share our thoughts and ideas or whatever we may be going through, there's moments like that where guys, regardless if you don't seem retention or not, there's not enough spaces for us guys to be able to interact like this. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys for being here and uplifting the brother, man. Appreciate you guys. Sam hi, man. For real, stay up, bro. It be tough. We all go through tough times, bro. Be strong, bro. Time don't last forever, bro. Son, will come up eventually. Focus on the good right now. Yeah, man. And I appreciate you, Jay. That's my W channel, man. I appreciate it. But Flight Tiger Viper, thoughts on Obama, bro? I honestly, I don't know how to answer that. Ever since he stopped being president, you could say, I don't know. I always say this about, you know, figures like that, even with Trump. Like, I don't know these guys personally. All I could judge them off of is the works that they have done with their presidency and how they have been put into the public eye. And for the American people to see. Nah, Deshaun Foster, there isn't a topic where I avoid talking about the fear of being canceled. So that's the thing. Listen, let me finish with this Obama, right? I don't know him personally to say anything like I don't. When people say I don't like this person, I don't like Trump, I don't like Obama, what is it that you don't like about them? What do you know about them that you don't like? It sounds more like a personal thing, right? But I don't know these people personally to be like, well, I don't like this. One thing I can say is that I know under his administration, gay marriage was passed. If you want me to talk about that, I can talk about it. But my thoughts on him, he's not the one. He may have had the signature on the paper to push that, but he's not ultimately the one that made the grand decision to make that happen. When you understand the presidency and the hidden hand that's behind him, and Deshaun Foster, where I'm about to go, you could kind of tell I'm not afraid about being canceled. I can only speak on what I have come to know and use my eyes and ears, keep my eyes and ears to the streets on furthering my knowledge. But he wasn't the one that made the grand idea to say, let's do it. He's just basically the face because he was the president at the time. Who's to say It wasn't designed for it to be that way, to make him the president at the time, to push that into when he was specifically in office, for that to be pushed, for that to be put on his name. Now, to feel some type of way about him doing that, listen, that's what he signed up for. That was his job. He has a duty as a president to carry out certain orders as well. You said which one? If you mean which president, I'm talking about Obama right now. I'm talking about the gay marriage that was approved by him in his administration while he was um, under in his administration, right? Me personally, it's my opinion, right? But whatever the agenda is not ultimately pushed just by the president. It's a hidden hand. The president is just the face. So to feel some type of way about someone that's doing their job, that's carrying out an order, I can't feel no type of way about that. That's just his job. He signed the oath. If you know about the presidents, all of them, mostly all of them, one, come from the same bloodline, two, have taken an oath under Freemasonry. So there's an oath and an order. I appreciate that, OG Kicks. There's an oath and an order that goes along with being the president as well. You have to carry out the orders. Think about when JFK got killed. A lot of shit he was saying and exposing had to get him going. Now, Deshaun Foster, you asked, like talking about the Jews, for instance. Now, with the Jews, I'm always remiss to not speak about the Jews is because, one, you understand platforms, you understand who runs these platforms on a mass level are the Jews. I don't think that's a secret. Two, once again, I'll say it again, I don't know much about the Jews to feel some type of way about them. Right now, they got the power. They got the power to control the media, control our platforms. And that's it. Been tuning into the content for a few months now. Dope to be able to see you speak live. A lot of men appreciate what you do, brother, bro. For real. You're not just a talking head. You're gonna lie. I appreciate that, Deshaun Foster, man. But yeah, bro. I really appreciate that though, bro. Thanks. The Jews and JHP, man, I appreciate that. What part of Jersey you from, brother? The power that they have in the media, mass media. Berry County, that's what's up, man. I'm originally Essex County and Union County, brother, from Jersey. Yeah, being that they are the controllers, they have the power. What comes with that is people who are going to feel some type of way about it. Whatever they're doing behind the scenes, I don't know, bro. I just know there's a certain agenda pushed out here. There's a certain And how you think it got like that? What makes the Jews so powerful? They got bread, or is it something else? It's the money, bro. Be honest. To me, it's the money. I've seen. Listen to this, right? I grew up in an area where there were Jews, where there are Jews, and the Jewish. Listen to this very closely. The Jewish community, as a whole, as a collective, made themselves powerful because they were able to commune together all their resources. Then take over this shit quietly, very strategically. See, being that they were able to commune a certain way. I grew up around Jews, that's what I was saying, right? And actually, I was just asking bro, where he's from in Jersey. In Jersey, the high school that I went to, our public high school, right across the street, there's a park called the Pond, where we used to have all of our treacherous basketball, street ball pickup games played at right across the street from our high school. Right on the side of that basketball court, across the street of the pond, was a Jewish school. Behind that community is a whole area of Jews and where they lived at, and they buy all the property. Then slowly but surely within the town start to buy all of the real estate. But they do this not as a single entity. They do it as a community. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the Jews have their own schoolings, have their own school system in their communities. They have their own resources that they can go to each other to use and buy and sell from each other. Their own markets. Even if you go to our own supermarkets, they have their own aisle of kosher things where they can buy from the markets and stuff like that. It's because they have the money to do that. They didn't, and they are not stupid with their finance. The reason why I bring up the schooling and all this other stuff is because when we got to interact with those Jewish kids, they wore the same outfits. We went to public school, it had to be, well, nowadays I believe they're wearing uniforms in public schools. More so, I don't know how it is now in Jersey, but I remember my time being in high school, it was like a damn fashion show. If you didn't, you know what I mean? You had to have nice, fresh gear at that time. In Jewish high school, they're wearing the same slacks, black, whether they have different prayer, whatever the case may be, but it's white shirt, slacks, black shoes. Same outfit. How they dress, even the adults, it's the same thing. It's black slacks, black shoes, white shirt, whether they have a little jacket on, whatever case may be, go with the attire, whatever. With the women, the same thing. They wear their, whatever. They're always wearing the same thing. They don't drive no expensive car. They don't live in no, if they do live somewhere, not if they do live somewhere, obviously they live somewhere, but their housing, it's not no mansion. I haven't seen, not to say that they don't have them, but this is very modest living is because they are able to keep their money. They don't like anyone but their own. They're able to keep their money, and they are able to commune within themselves, keep the money in-house, better themselves, support one another's business when that time comes. So they're powerful under their own right because they know the power of the dollar, man. And not spending it within the companies because they know that the companies are doing the normal consumer dirty. They don't consume as much as the regular American citizen. And they do that on a community-wide basis. Don't know. Yeah, they silently build. Their moves aren't loud at all, bro. And that's how it's supposed to be. When you talk about gentrification in certain areas, you don't even know that it's happening until it's actually happening. But they've been plotting on this shit for years. Fly Tiger Viper says, favorite cuisine, brother. My favorite is I always say this, that my parents were immigrants. They came from West Africa, a country called Liberia. So my favorite cuisine is West African cuisine, and one of my favorite dishes is cassava leaves with fufu. And what cassava leaves is it's like a stew. It can be cooked with any range of different meats, whether it be chicken, beef, seafood, shrimp, crab. But it's a stew. It's a stew that's cooked. And it almost comes out as like a green sauce. It's a green leaf, so it comes out as like a green stew, a green sauce. But it is my favorite. And it's God's chosen people. That's got to be a reason for their opulence and power to. Deshaun Foster, man, that's a whole different topic, bro. For it being God's chosen people. Thing is that that's what you believe. Lily Crutch says, sorry, I had a call. You ain't missed much, Lily. You still talking. Yeah, talking about the spiritual power of the Jewish community and how they came to be so strong. Yeah, I wanted to go back. Deshaun Foster, them being the... See, if you say that to the wrong demographic of people, Deshaun Foster, they will tell you that they are living under a falsehood of being God's chosen people. That they have taken that moniker, and the real Jews or Hebrew are melanated. And that the ones that are living their married lives, not worried about what nobody else talking about, and doing what they have to do silently, are the false ones. Keyword is ish. Yeah, I mean, I Yeah, J Mastermind. I get what you're putting down, bro. It's funny, bro. You can't. This is tough, right? Because to tell a Jew that he's living under a falsehood, but this is something that he believes. This is a person's lifestyle that not only are they living a lifestyle, but they are also pros they are proceeding and prospering off of their lifestyle. They are low key running shit. So to tell them, right? Listen to this. To tell them that they are a falsehood, they're living under a false name, and then turn around and say that the real ones, these are the real ones here, but we can't get together for shit. It's better just to leave them alone. Focus on what we got to do. Um, when I say we, if there's community being built, if there's some type of goal, aspiration that is at hand as far as the people, then we need to focus on that and not focus about what they're doing and how they're doing it. They're living under a falsehood. Listen, they have taken a belief, they believe it, and they're moving along with it. They're not looking back. There's multiple generations of mistrust. I agree, bro. I wish us black folks were more like other communities as far as togetherness and unity as one. All I can do is pray for our people. Lily questions, I agree. What do you think about Winston Churchill? Sorry, another politician, but interesting to see your thoughts and things like this. I don't know too much on Winston Churchill. And yes, Deshaun Foster, very deep. Um, Programs in place planting drugs and guns in our communities. Our communities are put at a disadvantage, almost as if an uprise for us isn't possible because we have a lot to go against. The projects in certain communities because they are meant to be like that. When you look at those projects, you look at the investors into the projects, and you will come to find out that, surprise, they are the Jews, the same Jews that we're talking about. So, there's still oppression. There's still things that are happens and happen, a lot of happenings that we kind of look at, and we get the shit end of the stick in our communities. And when you get someone who tries to build up community and help community, Deshaun Foster is very respectful, right, Wheelie? Um, it makes it tougher. For certain communities to rise up for them. It's a shame. All right. The young apologist. No, I'm not an atheist. Young apologist. The young apologist. Are you familiar with? Because you're asking that. Are you familiar with the? There's a YouTuber. There's a YouTuber called OG Kicks, man. What's his name? Allegedly Ian. And the young apologist says, I'm Christian. Okay, nice. Does anyone know a YouTuber on here? He goes on live streams where he debates other callers, or he has people call in. Um, that can debate him, but it's not. Yeah, it starts to get crazy after a while. Um, yeah, he's not it comes off as a debate. Yeah, it's kind of wild. Um, but OG Kicks, man, he trigger finger is on point tonight. Allegedly Ian, and I've mentioned this person a couple times on my live streams, and I typically don't like to put out other content creators out there or live stream hosts that I don't know and that don't know me, and you know, it's just reluctant. But I always bring him up because he's a open atheist out there, and he actually opens his phone lines up. Never heard of him. Um, well, maybe me now, saying his name in the live stream, you guys may start to see him. Uh, but he's a open atheist, and he started popping up on my timelines, on my algorithm, right? And on his platform, once again, I don't mean to be redundant and keep on repeating myself, but he allows people to call in for a debate. But the thing is that it's not really a debate, because to my belief, when you debate someone, is actually on a topic where actual facts can be talked about, be brought up, and can, not to say that facts can't be debated, because a fact is a fact, right? Truth is the truth. Um, but in a debate, you bring up your own set of facts, which you may think that you have with sources and things that you can reference to and give reference to. Bro just seems to want to be an atheist and argue just for the sake of argument. So it's kind of like a reverse troll he's doing. Like, he's coming on as an atheist and not believing in anything, and then opening the phone lines up to argue with people who are bringing valid points up, and not just based around religion or God, but when it comes down to actual biology, men and women, um, who can actually give birth, uh, things of that nature, right? Yeah, you see the reaction I just had, just explaining it to you guys, right? Like, it's making me feel some type of way just thinking about it, because like, people actually call in, and I actually sometimes I scroll through and I'd be like, yo, let me see what they're talking about, because the first time it caught me, I'm like, oh damn, he's actually atheist, and he's on here saying he's atheist, because people always come off and ask me what I am, right? Right, it's just for the views. Um, the first time I clicked on, I found out he was. It says something on his like screen or whatever. He fixed it up where it says, you know, I'm an atheist calling. So I'm like, oh damn, like he's actually talking to people as an atheist. He's like, I would never do that because I don't want to be on a phone with someone debating shit like this. So I'm like, damn, it caught my interest. So as I'm listening and I'm hearing the interaction, I'm like, yo, bro really is like not really coming to a resolution with none of these people. This is just calling just to argue. Yeah, people you don't barely know online. So the first time I caught it, I'm like, all right, well, you know, they're debating and stuff like that. But then as it starts to get more logical um, of a topic, I can see now bro he doesn't even care to really get down to the bottom of an actual debate or reasoning for the debate. It's like you're saying, it's just for views. And it's almost like there's a certain demon attached to him. Be honest. I'm being very open-eyed. I gotta say it for what it is or what I say. It's like a demon attached to him because only a demon, someone with a wicked spirit, would allow strangers to call you to argue, knowing that the argument is going to be a means to no end, and all you're going to be doing is purposely, because he's doing this too, purposely frustrating the person that's calling in and disagreeing with them just to disagree. Then the other person on the line is getting upset because they're actually calling, trying to have a logical and actual conversation. That's not his goal though. His goal is to get you online or to get you on the phone for the sake of views, for the sake of the internet, and to almost kind of just argue with you, make you look like a fool, use you for your energy. That's why I don't, when people ask me on here, yo, let me call you so we can talk. No, I don't want to talk to you. We can talk on here, we can engage in here, we can debate what we can debate on here, but we're not having that exchange over the phone because there's no reason to. I'm not going to post it online. And I think that's where people, you know, get that type of rhetoric from, is that they see it online, they see people call in, debate online, and they feel like everyone is like that that wants to do that. I don't want to do that for real because that's an energy vampire, bro. And some people don't really want to argue to get down to an actual fact or to debunk some shit. They just want to argue for the sake of arguing, and that's demonic. Yeah, I know a lot of just keep arguing going. It sounds like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, Lily Crutches. I'm thinking the same thing too. One of his lives I was watching, I swear to you, I was not yelling at my screen, but I said out loud, I'm like, yo, bro, why don't you just hang up? Like once when you realize like you're basically talking to a brick wall and you're talking to someone who is basically just using you. Yeah, I hear you, Lily. I literally said to my screen, like, yo, bro, just hang up the phone. Because you can hear the guy on the other side of the line getting frustrated. He started breathing. He was like, oh my God, this guy. And he already knew, like, yo, you're a difficult person to deal with. And there's no getting through to you. And you're just going to keep on disagreeing with me. I said, yo, you're giving him exactly what he wants. Mario Margiano got kicked up out of here ASAP. Yep, using people to get views and attention to this channel. Yeah, and I don't knock nobody. I don't knock anyone that's on these internet streams and, you know, their means to get views and their likes and stuff like that. But it's just that was something that was curious to me, because when I noticed it, I'm like, what people are actually taking their time out to interact with a person like this. You talking about his calls? Yeah, I mean, another thing about the people that like to call in. You said I call. I was about to say people that like to call in. Um, let's get chaos agent. The callers that call in to a guy like that, they want to get some type of resolution, and they kind of call in to try to prove that person wrong. And that's what I used to get too. Like, people wanting to call or ask me for my number on here after discussing something to try to prove me wrong. And you're not going to get that from me anyway, right? So I wouldn't even set myself up to have you call to try to prove me wrong, especially then like do it through a live stream. If we're going to have, once again, we're going to have a debate on here. If you can prove me wrong on here, then you got it. But like calling in, it gives the caller on that side, yo, I'm gonna try to call in and prove him wrong. This is the thing. You're talking to a person that's going to jump through loops and holes for one, not to be wrong, because he doesn't believe anything. Listen, let me tell you when I knew, like, there's no talking to a person, and he has the people that are calling in, and the viewers that he has them, because he's atheist and puts himself out there like that, right? He says that he doesn't believe in biology. The caller asked him, I brought this up before, and I want to make sure that I'm saying this right, can a trans man have a baby? Now, to my belief, if you guys correct me if I'm wrong, a trans man is a woman, right? Is a biological woman who is a transitioned man. So asking that question, can a trans man have a baby? The answer would be yes, because technically, biologically, it's a woman. This dude is saying that a man can have a baby, because there isn't technically a trans man. A man can identify. You identify as a man, you're a man. But we're talking about a trans man here, and a trans man is literally a woman for real, with a womb and stuff like that. So his argument is that a man can have a baby, because a woman can identify herself as a trans man, and yeah, there's no arguing with a person like that. to try to have an argument with a person like that, you will be doing yourself a disservice and wasting your time, because you'll be talking in circles. You'll bring up everything that goes against his ideology and still tell you that you are wrong. Sad, man. Sad what's going on in these internet streets. And once again, a lot of views roll in. He on now? OG Hobbs, yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. Yeah, it's sad. And there's people that agree with him on that manner. But then you have people, like I said, who call in, will argue with them, ask them, how were you born? How did you get here? Who had you? Your mother, right? What is your mother? Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Lily. I get that. But guys, I'm gonna grab something to eat real fast. I came out from a walk earlier in this live, and I never really got settled in all the way. Let me tell you, I have people that will walk into the ER just to have a... Yeah, that's crazy. But I do plan on being back on live stream and like next hour and a half. I also got to make a phone call. I talk to my son as well. So I got a couple of, so yeah, like a next hour and a half. I'm gonna definitely be back on. I just need some time to get resettled in after my walk. I'm not even too sure. Maybe I got some chicken in there. Got some leftover rice and beans. And AJ Wow says, how's your healing journey? Healing journey is good. Can we get a mukbang live? Nah, I'm not doing no mukbang. That's funny. But guys, I'll see y'all in a couple hours. Hour and a half, 2 hours. So around like 11:30, I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Y'all still up. Catch y'all soon with love and peace.